Getting down for the funk of it. Y'all remember this song, yo? This song, look, I'm gonna mute it, but they was going, wow, this was actually in 1978. I found One Nation Under a Groove, getting down. They was really One Nation too. See this dude and his whatever he got on. And then there was another dude with a real long white wig. This is the Funkadelic. Anyway, ever since I made the video, the last video about the 12 tribes being all a spoke, 12 spokes in one wheel, and they called it One Nation of Yahshua. I've been singing this song, One Nation Under a Groove. Get down for the funk of it. I wish I could play it. I probably could. It probably got no copyright on it, but it's so old. But oh man, let me rewind it a little bit so you can see everybody. It was babies up there on the screen, on the stage. It was everybody. One nation under a groove, getting down for the funk of it. He said, give you more of what you're funkin' for. What we said, feet don't fail me now. Here's our chance to dance our way out of our constrictions. That's right. Gonna be freaking up and down in the alleyway. Look at dude, look at dude, look at dude, look at his shoes. Ready or not, here we come. All right, let me cut this out. I am not performing, but that's why I be sounding crazy, because the music I grew up on, man, it really was something else. Oh, get down on the good foot. All right, we're going to shrink this out. All right, all right, all right. We're still in chapter 62 of the Holy Godspell, the New Testament. This is Yahshua's sermon on the concepts and contemplation on the root forces and the branch forces of the tree of life. So we've already done the two in the video. There's 3 videos before this one. That's the beginning of this chapter. And this is going to be this part where he says, I now will share the symbols, concepts, and chief angels of the 2 branch triads and the 2 root triads of the tree of life. I think we're only going to get through one of the branch triads because it's pretty long. And it gets explicit. It's talking about some universal tantra. So this is good because he's got some more sermons on there. So listen to what he says. The first branch triad of the Essene tree of life consists of the following 3 branches: divine wisdom, divine love, and divine power. Each of those 3 branches is crowned by the center branch, the YHWH branch, that is itself crowned by Yah. Yahshua said the symbol for contemplation of the branch of wisdom is a lit candle. Nasarean artists often picture the flame of the candle as the Hebrew letter Yod, a living fire letter. Here at the Mother Temple, there's a wall hanging of the candle of wisdom with the flame being represented by the Yod. When neither the illustration nor a lit candle is at hand, picture it within your mind. The same is true with all of the symbols of contemplation. When they are not present, picture them within your mind. So this contemplation is another word I'm thinking, picturing it in your mind. He's talking about some meditation on that. So we're going to meditate on that. So on the symbols, he's telling us when we don't have those, to picture them in our mind. The concept for contemplation of the branch of wisdom is the significance that the fact that divine wisdom gives the final nod to love. This sort of wisdom includes, but also transcends knowledge. There is a masculine aspect of holy wisdom, but there is also a feminine aspect. The analytical knowledge aspect of wisdom must be balanced with the intuitive knowledge aspect. Those two aspects form the one whole wisdom that is divine wisdom. In Matana, Nazarean Genesis, we learn that the divine wisdom originated in the divine mind, and in stepping into manifestation in the mother ovum, did so in the masculine spin to balance with the divine heart that stepped into that manifestation in the feminine spin. We thus know that wisdom is inherently a bit more head-oriented when manifesting in the masculine spin to dance with and give the nod to divine heart. Let me read that over, sorry. We thus know that wisdom is inherently a bit more head-oriented when manifesting in the masculine spin to dance with and give the nod to divine heart. Remember, there is no physical manifestation in the still zero. Creation occurs in physical manifestation by the interaction between spins, and even the slightest spin is either masculine dominant or feminine dominant, depending on which leads the dance. That dominance can be infinitesimally slight, wherefore wisdom is only slightly masculine dominant, having a feminine side, even as feminine dominant divine heart has also a masculine side. The nod of the heart, the nod of the head to the heart is how wisdom and love make more love. Miriam has encouraged me to speak openly about sacred tantra. She is about to get her wish. I tell you truly, the nod of wisdom to love is as tantric as tantra gets. To be very blunt, my friends, when wisdom in the era of the conception of the divine plan realized that the highest wisdom is the nod of wisdom to love and communicated that realization to love, love became wet with sexual desire. Her wetness was the water of life. Creation is nothing if not sexual. Behold, Miriam may have gotten a bit more boldness than she bargained for. Most laughed at Yahshua's joke, though a few members of the congregation looked a bit shocked at hearing such sexual language in a sermon at the Mother Temple. Nigoa, the eldest of the females in attendance, cracked her own joke, saying to Yahshua, "Nah, your boldness is mild stuff compared to what Miriam says around the campfire." This time everyone laughed. Nigoa had a gift for loosening uptight people. Miriam chimed in, "But you leave out an important detail. Before I speak to my female travel companions about Tantra, I have already sent the men to their tents." Yahshua smiled and said, "Well, time to move on." Again, everyone laughed. Yahshua continued, "As it turns out, the decision of wisdom that we call the highest wisdom, the decision by both the analytical and intuitive aspects of wisdom, that ultimate love is the highest good and highest power, is the most important decision ever made in regards to your future. By implication, it affirms eventually universal salvation for all beings, including you, by affirming the supremacy of universal love and spiritual evolution. That affirmation is the highest enchantment of universal white magic. Together, highest wisdom and highest love birth the creation that will wind up and unwind repeatedly in a manner that will expand further into unactualized potential with each new expansion, thus creating more actualized potential every ebb, building contracting power for even a bigger flow, explosion of life, a bigger bang than before in a growth process that is best described as the whole motion of expansion. That whole motion of expansion includes contraction. In this light, even contraction is seen to ultimately serve expansion. Contraction winds up a spiral so that it can in turn explode outward to create orgasms. And all of these cycles, according to the highest wisdom, serve the ultimate cause, which wisdom realized was eternal expansion of universal love via spiritual evolution. Recall that the concept for contemplation on the branch of wisdom is the significance that the fact that the divine wisdom gives the final nod to love. Contemplate the significance of that fact in regards to your own eventual salvation, but also contemplate how you in your own daily life can likewise give the nod to love, making highest wisdom the example that you choose to live by. The chief angel of the branch of wisdom is Uriel. The man Uriel ascended to become the chief messenger angel of wisdom precisely because he practiced in his own life the marriage of head and heart. Symbol for contemplation on the branch of love is a heart, excuse me, with two wings inside a circle, one wing being supernal hope, the other being supernal love, which together add up to produce acts of universal merciful compassion, symbolized by the outer circle that includes all. The concept for contemplation on the branch force of love is any high and noble feeling, such as these that I call 7 heavenly feelings: the feeling of love, the feeling of appreciation, the feeling of gratitude, the feeling of compassion, the feeling of forgiveness, the feeling of empathy, the feeling of happiness that accompanies acts of mercy. Though these 7 are not the only high and heavenly feelings worthy of being contemplated, but are a great start. Create your own expanded list of high and heavenly feelings. Consider that an assignment. The chief angel for the branch force of love is Rachamael. Yahshua said the symbol for contemplation on the branch force of power is stars. So this is the last one of the triad. So it was wisdom, love, and power. Okay, lo, a star is a bridge between the spiritual and physical realms, which is to say, a bridge between the branch force and root forces that directly enable spiritual power to be translated into physical power. That is why the spiritual branch of power is directly related to the physical root force of sun in the symbolic drawing of the Essene tree of life. But keep in mind that the branch of power is not limited to just one star we call our sun, but moves from the spiritual realms to the physical realms to expand creation throughout every star of the heavens, every past, present, and future star, whereas the root force of sun deals particularly with our local star and does so from the perspective of human being interacting with the terrestrial force we call sunshine. The stars of the heavens are at the still center within each doorway from the created physical realms into the spiritual realms, and human souls are living sparks of the same, on a smaller scale, being microcosmic stars. Each microcosmic star is always directly related to, as to a blood relative, all other stars. Let me say that. Each microcosmic star is always directly related to, as to a blood relative, all other stars. Wow. Okay, then the concept for the contemplation of the branch force of power is the ultimate expansive power, that is the creative power birthed by the nod of wisdom to love, that nod being the highest wisdom, that is the sperm that results in the pregnancy of love with wisdom's child, power. A child also called creation, and well exemplified by the stars of the heavens. It is also helpful to sometimes contemplate how you have previously in the past used your personal power, your own inner star power, for good or bad, and most importantly, how you intend to use it from this moment on into the future. Honestly acknowledge any previous misuses of your power so as to receive forgiveness and ascend on the spiritual ladder of the branch of power in spiritual well-being. Spiritual well-being is ever expanding Sat Chit Ananda, which means consciousness, existence, consciousness, and bliss, which is the ultimate purpose of creation and of creative power. And that review of your own use of power with an affirmation, an enchantment to henceforth use your various forms of personal power in wise and loving ways as taught by the parents of the highest power, supernal love and supernal wisdom. That's the parents of the highest power. All right, and the chief angel for the branch of power is Michael. See, this is long. Power is the last of the 3 parts of the first branch triad of the Essene tree of life. Again, that triad of 3 branches is divine wisdom, divine love, and divine power. I have just given you the symbols for contemplation, the concepts for contemplation, and the names of the chief angels related to the first of the 2 triads of branches of the Essene tree of life. This says, and I'm going to end it there because he's about to begin to give you the second triad. And I'll put this in the next video because we're already at 14 minutes here. Okay, guys, so that was the first triad, the divine wisdom, divine love, and divine power. And that's just the first triad of branches on one side. Now we'll come back with actually the video in between though is going to be, I'm going to give you the communions. I'm going to come back. The next video will have the communions for these three angels that he just named. Michael, Rachamael is love. Michael is power. Rachamael is love. And Uriel is wisdom. Okay, so we'll come back with those communions and what days you commune with those angels on. All right, thanks for watching. Stay tuned.